James McConnell is an Irish preacher who recently stood trial for controversial comments he made from the pulpit. In a sermon that was broadcast over the internet, he called Islam, quote, satanic. A prosecutor said that violated laws against hate speech and put him on trial. Last week, a judge ruled in Pastor McConnell's favor. He joins us now by Skype from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Pastor McConnell, tell us your reaction when you heard the not guilty verdict.
I was very happy and very pleased. If we had have lost this case, then your programmes and the rest of every programme throughout the United Kingdom and the United States would be under scrutiny by these people. There are faceless people in the world today who would suppress the gospel and would defeat God's people. And I was delighted when the judge pronounced me twice not guilty. I was so happy.
The fact that you were brought to trial for your comments is obviously troubling. What is the state of freedom of speech and freedom of religion in the UK?
Well, freedom of speech and freedom of religion is exactly the same as it is in the United States. And it was us that brought the freedom of speech and the freedom of religion.
A Muslim imam testified on your behalf at the trial. What impact did that have on you?
It had a wonderful impact. He's a lovely, lovely man. And he contacted me by phone 3 times, then got a plane and come over and saw me. And he didn't want any money, didn't want any expenses. He came of his own free will and his own pocket. A lovely young man. But his attitude was, I had a right to say what I was saying, just as he has a right to say what he is saying, which we believe is free speech and freedom of thought.
You've said that you stand by your message, but you would word it differently if you gave it again. What would you change and why?
I wouldn't change really anything. What I meant was, I believe that I was preaching this in the confines of my own church. I think you can see it. It's a large church, it seats 3,500, and I was preaching in the confines of my own church, but I didn't realise it would go out into the world and go out even into the north of Ireland. There are many Muslims in Northern Ireland who are decent people and kind people, and there's many who are not. And I just would like to emphasize that I didn't go out to hurt them. I was attacking the Muslim doctrine. I was attacking Islam. And I said Islam is satanic, and I still say it to this very day.
As Christians, how do we walk this fine line of speaking the truth about Islam while at the same time loving our Muslim neighbors?
Well, it's like the Lord Jesus. Didn't he look at the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the heads of the Jewish church? He called them hypocrites. He called them whited sepulchres. He called them vipers. He called them devils. He even said to the Pharisees, you would cross land and sea to convert a proselyte. And when you do that, you make him twice the child of hell that you are yourselves. So how did he draw the line? And so you've got to condemn sin, you've got to condemn idolatry, you've got to condemn false doctrine, but in your demeanour and manner, you've got to show people that you love them and you're willing to help them. And that's what Christ did.
Political correctness is being used to intimidate people and stifle free speech. What advice do you have for others who are facing the same pressure?
It's difficult advice to give. My advice would be mainly to God's people. My advice would be mainly to preachers who love the Lord Jesus passionately. And I would say to them, don't draw back. Take your stand for Christ. We have got to win the day. And there are powers in the United States and powers in Great Britain who are out to suppress this. We need to expose them and bring them to light and shame them.
Pastor James McConnell, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.